Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wisdom in the Pants Countcast. That's right. That's how we do it. Wow, these glasses are so dark. I can't see a single thing. The sun must be very bright. Welcome. If you're watching this live on Monday, the eclipse is about to happen, probably. I don't know. I've got these eclipse glasses. I'm ready for the eclipse. I am huge fan of the moon. I don't know. That sounds weird. A huge fan of the moon. I wait in lines to get the moon's autograph. Very excited about the eclipse. I got my glasses. I got my ND filter for my camera. Going to be set up. It's going to be fun. But yeah, welcome to another episode of the Wisdom in the Tangents podcast. If you're not watching the video, that didn't make a lot of sense, but I was wearing solar eclipse glasses. There you go. That's the visual. Go check out YouTube if you want to see it. But yeah, welcome to another episode 208. I'm excited about this one. Going to be getting into kind of like a short podcast about a very important email. Um, and let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like just jumping in, I don't have a lot of personal stuff to get into. We did some birthdays this week, and it was fun. We all had a good time. We ate a bunch of cake. We had this cookie cake. It was a sheet of cookie, and then icing, and then another sheet of cookie on top, and then of course more icing because sugar and kids. It was delicious. I want to go buy another one just for myself, just to eat throughout the week. So if you're not a big fan of cake, get a cookie cake. That's my tip for you today. So that's on the personal note. Let's get into today's episode. If you read the subject and the title of this episode, and you're like, I don't know what a magic email is, I'm gonna let you know. It's a thing that I tried to look up when this came about. I believe Kai Davis is the one who like put together the concept of the magic email, and I heard about it probably about 10 years ago or so. So I'm gonna say that it came about maybe 10 to 15 years ago. Who knows? Email's been around for a minute. But yeah, it's essentially this magic email. Let's say you've been talking to a lead, y'all have been going back and forth, or maybe it's just been a one-sided kind of like, hey, just following up again. Wanted to see if you had any thoughts about the quote that I sent over. There's a lot of those. Hey, just following up. Hope you're doing well. Just following up, kind of emails. And then this is pretty much like the magic email, quote unquote, that you send at the end, and it is supposed to initiate a response from them, either a response of, yeah, hey, we went with someone else, or oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I missed your email. I marked it as read, whatever, and we'd love to still chat. It's kind of the anti-ghosting email of sorts. And if you're not familiar, I'm going to read it real quick. It's super short, very to the point. So the magic email is essentially this. It's just like, hey, person's name. Hey, recipient. Don't put recipient. That's a mistake. Hey, yo. Since I haven't heard from you on this, I assume that your priorities have changed. Bye. That's it. That's the whole thing. That is the magic email. That is uh straight to the point. Haven't heard from you. I assume things have changed. And then that's it. You just kind of leave the ball in their court and hope that they uh respond to you. Kai says that they get roughly about 50% of people responding to it. I used to use this email for a while, and yeah, I'd get responses. Most of them were, yeah, we've gone with someone else, um, which is probably uh, had to do with a lot of my marketing and client experience before this email. Not so much how this email is worded, but for me, it's too short, it's too impersonal, and I get that it's a very business type email. Like this is meant for more of like B2B type businesses, business to business, where you're working with other businesses. You're not so much in the like personal brand. You're not doing your people thing. And I am not a business person. I'm a people person who owns a business. I own a business for people. I work with people. I love working with people and talking with people and caring for people. I am a people person, and this email just didn't feel people-y to me. So I reworded it. And I think that that is little side tangent, little note here. If you're getting any sort of templates, if you're buying email templates, if you're getting copy for like your website template, and it's got like your about me page or whatever, obviously you're going to switch up words in your about me page. But sometimes, people will get these templates and then just copy, paste, boom. If it came this way from a good copywriter or a good marketer, I am good with using exactly what this is. I would recommend that you don't do that. Whatever you get, any sort of template, you need to rewrite it into your words. Uh, it kind of, I don't know. I'm thinking of like plagiarizing an essay in high school where you have this whole story from a book that you didn't read and you have the plot and everything, and you're just like, okay, how can I turn this into my own words? And then you just pretty much write down the other thing. Anyone else do that? No. You are a good student. Okay, good job. Gold stars for you. But yeah, so we need to rewrite this email. This is, I kind of want to break down the email real quick. There's not much to break down because it is very short, but there are some major points here of what the email is trying to do. And the first part is, since I haven't heard from you on this, and what that is doing is pretty much being like, hey man, you ghosted me. I haven't heard from you on this. I have sent you emails. I have followed up with those emails, all of the hope you're doing well emails, and haven't heard. It's crickets in my inbox. I can see in my ERM, CRM. I can see in my CRM that you have opened these emails. Maybe you've even clicked on something, but still no replies. So it's addressing that lack of communication, lack of the conversation where it's just one person yelling into the void and the other person just sitting there like, all right. So it's addressing that. It's saying, hey, haven't heard from you on this. And then I assume that your priorities have changed. So you're kind of passive aggressively being like, all right, I assume that things have changed because I haven't heard back from you and you were interested in hiring me. Now you're not. So something must have changed. And it's probably on your side. So here we go. So I want to address both of those in the way that I'm rewriting this. So this is what I've done. I've added a lot. This is my quote unquote magic email that I send. It kind of hits the same points, but it adds a lot more personality. It adds a lot more of my brand voice, and it adds a lot more care into it because I feel like that email is just super cold. And that's cool for some people. You might be listening to this and be like, yeah, I send that a magic email and it works and it's great and I love it. And if that is the case, then great. I love it. You go for it. You keep doing you. But for me, it just didn't fit well. So this is how I've rewritten my magic email. Have you ever learned something that you feel like you learned way too late in life? I feel like that guy from Instagram who's like, here's something I didn't know until my 30s, because here is something I didn't know until I was in my 30s. Your savings account can actually make you money. And I'm not talking about like traditional savings accounts that are making you like 0.01 to 0.3% interest, just pennies. That's pennies, people. I'm talking 1.5 to over 4% interest. That doesn't
sound like much, but if you're talking numbers, let's say you have like $5,000 in your savings account for taxes at the end of the year, that's the difference between accruing $15 and 200 extra dollars. Now, this is a high yield savings account. I've talked about these a few times on the podcast, but now I have partnered with SoFi to bring you a little extra money. Whenever you start your free high yield savings account through SoFi, they will deposit an extra $25 in there for you for free. That's literally free money. And yes, this high yield savings account is just like a normal savings account where you can access your money. You don't have to like wait for 7 to 10 business days until you can get anything out. It's a normal savings account, except you're making more money. So go to allheartphoto.com/SoFi. That's allheartphoto.com/SOFI and let your money make you money.
So this is how I've rewritten my magic email. Starting off with the hey recipient's name. Obviously with my CRM, I've got the whole in Tave they call them tokens, where it just like auto populates whoever the recipient is. So hey person, hope you're doing well. Haven't heard back from you about the wedding packages that we talked about the engagement session, about the branding shoot, whatever it is that we're working on. Hadn't heard back from you about what we've talked about. So I'm opening up your wedding date for other couples. This is obviously one that I have for wedding couples. You can absolutely still book job date with us whenever you're ready, as long as someone else hasn't taken it yet. So I'm still addressing that, like, hey, I haven't heard back from you. You ghosted me, but in a much warmer way, I feel, of being like, hey, haven't heard back from you. I am going to go ahead and open up this date. You can still book if someone else hasn't taken it. So still kind of like getting that scarcity, immediacy of, oh, yeah, we do want to book. Maybe we're not ready yet, but we want to continue this conversation so that he doesn't book it with someone else. So I have that. And then I say, I'm really excited about working with you and photographing your wedding. I completely understand that there are many variables to take into account when choosing your wedding photographer, because there are. That because there are is just me talking to you right now. Back to the email. And then I say, we have personality and style and timeliness. I definitely want y'all to find the best photographer for you, even if that ends up not being me. Your wedding memories mean more to me than just dollars. So there, I'm wanting to speak to them about. I know that this is a big deal. I am not trying to rush you into this. I don't want to do the like, hey, you gotta book by Monday or else. That's it. Sorry. I don't want to rush them into something because maybe they're on the fence between me and someone else, and that someone else is an actual better fit for them, because there are millions of couples out there getting married, and I only need roughly 20, maybe 30 that are a good fit for me. So that shouldn't be too hard. And I don't want to bring in people and book them because they think they're a good fit, but they're not. And then we end up not having a great time, and they could have been served better by someone else. So I want to speak to that because I don't want them to just book me because they're like, oh, he's going to book this with someone else. Lastly, the last little bit, I say, if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here for you. Oh, yes, that is what I say. I'm always here for you to help in any way that I can. And then last little bit is planning a wedding is super hectic and some things can fall between the cracks. If that's the case, please let me know. I would still love to work with you. So kind of wrapping it up with, hey, I know things are busy. I know life is chaotic. I know that we just went through holidays, or spring break was like, yeah, a few weeks ago, somewhere around there. And the life is chaotic. Maybe your inbox has 20,000 unread messages and this one just got missed somewhere in there, and you meant to respond to it. If that's the case, still love to work with you. So like bringing it back to the positive of, hey, I want to leave you on the notion, the mindset of, I'd still love to work with you. instead of like, hey, I assume you've gone in a different direction. Bye. Because then that leaves them on, I assume you have left. I assume you have gone with someone else. And that doesn't leave them thinking about you. It leaves them thinking about someone else. And maybe they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we are in a different direction now because this other person seemed a lot more inviting. And I know the magic email, like I said earlier, is more for like business to business, and not so much B2C, business to customer, which is what a lot of us as photographers, that's what we are. We are working with other, um, we are working with clients, with customers, like people hiring us, not businesses, unless you're like a brand photographer, commercial, something like that. But you would have a different magic email anyway. So that's what I've done. That's the reasoning behind all of those changes. I want to still have that scarcity of, oh, we need to book because he's opened up the date. We're not penciled in anymore. This is open to anyone, and anyone can email and just be like, hey, we want to book now. And then our date's gone. So we need to at least respond back, set up a call, something like that. And I think I mentioned this earlier. If I didn't, I'm going to now. This is the last email that I sent, unless they respond, of course, and then I will continue the conversation. But this is the last one. So I've already followed up a couple times. I've already sent those hope you're doing well, just following up about this kind of emails. And then this is the one that's usually like 4 to 7 days after their initial inquiry. If I haven't heard back from them at all, then I send this. This is the magic email that I send. That's not quite the magic email, but it is the one that gets a lot of responses of, "Hey, you're right. We did go with someone else because their style matched more of what we were looking for." I'm like, "Cool, awesome. Thanks for the feedback, and I'm glad that you found someone whose style matched yours because I don't want them to, not be happy with my style. That happened early on in my career where someone wanted the light, bright, and editorial, and I was moody and candid, and they booked me anyway for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess they didn't look at my portfolio very much, and then they weren't happy with the photos because they wanted a different style than what I offered. So uh, I hope that's helpful. If you want this email template, I have some email templates. I don't think this one's included in the free ones that I have in the shop right now. No, those are just my initial inquiries. But if you want this one, shoot me a DM on Instagram, wit.pod, WITT.pod, and just send me the word email. No, that one will trigger a different one. Send me the word magic, and then I'll send you this email template, and you can just copy it over and then tweak it to where it fits your brand and your personality and your voice. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today. I got, like I said, follow us on Instagram. We've got a Twitter. No, we don't. We have a TikTok now. It's WitPod on Twitter. No, on TikTok, not Twitter. I have never been on Twitter. Uh, Twitter's not even a thing anymore. TikTok. So if you are on TikTok, go give us a follow. I have posted a couple. I'm working on it of getting uh, from my all heart photo TikTok on over to WitPod. But join us over there. Say hi. I always like to put faces and names with you listeners. Um, I'm currently booking guests for the summer. I think I have everyone booked out through May, early June right now. So if you would like to hear from anyone in particular, if you're like, ooh, this person is amazing. I would love to hear a conversation with them, or if there's a topic that you really want to be covered on this podcast, let me know. Shoot me a DM. You can email us at wisdomtangents@gmail.com. And yeah, I would love to cater this podcast for you, because this is a podcast for you, and I want your business to grow. And if that means you want to hear from so and so, then that's great. I'll reach out to them and be like, hey, I've got listeners who want to hear from you. Come on the show and let's chat. But yeah, enjoy the eclipse today. If you are somewhere where that is going to be covering you, because this comes out on the 8th. So yeah, enjoy that. Put my shades back on for the outro. Now I can't see a thing inside. But yeah, have a great day. I will see you next week. And don't stare directly at the sun. Bye, y'all.